Alright, let's get it popping. Already pretty active with the bait flickering, so hopefully these greenfish want to cooperate. I'm gonna start out with the mega bass or mega boa buzz bait. Just cover some water, and then we'll go from there. Well, it seems like the water is high, and usually on this lake when the water comes up, the fish push to the bank. So I'm gonna try the frog and just get it up shallower instead of casting the edges with the buzz bait. Get it more tight to that cover. Just targeting the points in the grass, and also little openings, just high percentage areas where hopefully a big one will be sitting, but it don't always work out that way. The frog I'm using is the Snag proof It's Just Phat frog, which I tied on because it's a good mat frog. It's like got a pretty flat belly, but it walks solid too, so you can kind of cast it up on the mat, drag it, and then when you get to that open water, it can still walk pretty good. So so painful when you cast at these juicy looking spots and just nobody's home. Oh, there's one. That's a good one too. Nice. Well, somebody was home. Nice little 2.5, 3-pounder. Choke that thing. It's a good way to start the morning. Thank you. Hell yeah. I felt like something grabbed the tail of my frog and I kept walking it. Sure enough, that fish came up and ate it. Definitely a good sign. Up here eating on these small bait fish. Hopefully it's showing up, but you can just see all these bait flickering coming out of this grass. And these bass are just ambushing out of this grass. And especially in this low light, they can hunt, they can kind of roam around. Once the sun gets up, they'll probably pull into these clumps, and might have to start flipping or something else, but while we got this low light, definitely good to always start out with the top water. And who doesn't like top water? Really haven't caught that many frogfish this year, which is kind of weird considering it's like got all this rain in the winter and a lot of the lakes are super high, so much flooded cover, but I just haven't had great success on the frog. But I'm gonna keep throwing it though, believe that. It's a great way to catch a big one. Always try to make sure I cast at those isolated grass clumps out in a little bit deeper water, because sometimes there'll just be a big one sitting there by itself. The little ones will kind of be up, grouped up shallow. Don't want to miss anything. Gonna try and set up on this little tule point, try and get the perfect cast. That's another high percentage area where there might be a giant setup. Just waiting for a bait fish or a bluegill. Just swim by. Oh, got hit right there. Seemed like a little one. Let's see, cast back in there. She didn't want to eat it. Switch up buzz baits to a quad buzz bait that I can reel a little slower. See if that gets them to bite it. They might just not want the buzz bait, but I did just get bit, so. Guy here, D&M slow roller. It's got the quad plastic blade, a little different sound. You can just reel it slower. Catches more water. Just do a uni knot. Usually with braid I'm tying a Palomar, but it's kind of weird putting a Palomar with the buzzbait just because of the open wire. So I usually just tie the uni. Cinch that down. Clip the tag. Should be good. Good to go. A totally different sound, more like a gurgle. Kind of like a whopper plopper. I'm kind of chasing these shady pockets since the sun's coming from that way. Any of these spots, these eastern banks will have shade longer, so you can kind of hold on to that low light. Generally it's better for topwater, but not always true. So we'll see. Usually if they're there, they're gonna be like right when you get it off the grass edge, within the first like 2 to 3 feet. So you don't necessarily have to work it all the way back to the boat, like, especially if you start getting bit, just pay attention, like they're eating at the first foot away from the mat, and you can just work that foot, walk it, and then just reel up. Be way more efficient like that. But sometimes they'll follow all the way to the boat, so you never know. Just good to try it out. Oh yeah, you can see some of those toolies moving. I'm just gonna flip in there. Can't help it. Yeah, usually that punch bite really picks up once that sun gets high. Kind of positions those fish in the shade. But they are definitely in here moving around, because I can hear them. So I will be coming back through here in a couple hours. Alright, well, seems like the frog is not doing it right now. I guess that first fish was just kind of a stumbled up on it, but the sun's pretty high now, so I'm gonna switch over to some of these moving baits and just cover some water. And then once the sun gets up more, starts getting hot, I'm gonna just start punching, because there's some good depth under these mats, and the water's high, and I'm seeing the toolies moving too, so they're definitely shallow. It's a little too early to start punching. Oh, there's one. A little guy. Oh, pulled off. Quick release. Yeah, just kind of reeling it. When I feel it hit that grass, I'm just kind of ripping it, reeling it, speeding it up. Just making it do something different as opposed to just reeling it straight in like everybody else. So Lipless crankbait was like one of the first baits I ever got into when I started bass fishing. I'm pretty sure it was the red eye shad when that thing first came out, and I would just throw it on the delta in those red craw colors and just catch a million fish. I mean, I never caught anything huge, but it's a good way to just call in a lot of fish. That rattle, and it's super easy for a beginner because you just cast it and you can feel it in your rod tip when it's moving. You can feel when it stops vibrating. Like, you you hit grass or you got a bite. So definitely recommend for beginners, and then once you're a little more advanced, you can just start playing around with baits, different applications. Oh, there's a good one. Maybe not. A better one. Oh, he's okay. He's pretty skinny. Got one hook in the corner of his mouth. Let's grab this guy. Not too bad. Pound and a half. And I'm catching myself on the hook. That's great. Solid. You can see all that came with him, just ripping it out of that grass. Just gonna keep covering water. There's one. Oh, fuck. Came off. Might have been grass. It felt kind of weird. But it did also feel like a fish. Right here we got like a mix of coontail. It's like these outside patches. It's like this more sparse vegetation, and then in tighter is like the hydrilla, which tends to be better for me punching. Like, I think they hold in it better. But since I haven't got a bite today punching, I'm flipping everything, and then we'll figure out which one they're preferring today. Sometimes they like the kind of more thin, sparse stuff, and sometimes they want the thickest vegetation possible, just because it provides the most shade and they can really hide in that. But really don't know until you get bit, so I'm just gonna try everything. Sometimes the best spots are like when you get a mix of vegetation. Like hydrilla and coontail, or hydrilla and hyacinth, which you see a lot on the Delta. Oh my God. They're definitely in these mats. I just got blown up. Just saw something else get popped. There you go again. Probably in these mats eating bluegill, be my guess. Sometimes they just miss. It's so annoying. There's one. Finally. Got one in the... Finally got one. Come up. Came up out of that cheese. First he hit my line, and then I pulled it into that hole, and he ate it. There you go. Little 1-pounder. Let's see if we can get another. It shows you when they want to get it, they can get it through this thick stuff, but sometimes they just can't make up their mind. A bit. Weird bite. Usually if they want it, they'll just eat it on the fall. Or maybe the first hop. It's the first bite I've had, and that was like sitting down there. Oh, there's one. In there. I don't know. But you'll see. Oh, he's in there. I think it's a big one. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, it's a big one. I think. Hope. Lip. It's not that big. Damn, I thought it was big. Got him out of there. Not a big one, but it's a solid. Definitely seems like I gotta hop it in there a few times. They're not really super active yet. There's another one. A little guy. Another one punching.
Joel, did you slide?
Little guy.
I wanted to see if there was interest in that, and just to get your feedback. So whether it will be this group or I would just do it with some other organizations in the community.
Tiny guy.
Dominique was part of the play, but as a group, is that something?
Oh, Jesus. Lost that one. Well, they're starting to bite. So that is good. I'm not having to hop it a million times to get them to go. So I think it's this wind probably picking up that's really helping. It was so slick, calm earlier. It's just cooking. And those fish get really just lethargic, slow. That's a good one. Toss my bait. Nice, solid. More chunker on the D-bomb.